is messed up. Hello, everybody. How are you all doing? I am Tragic Loss, and I am joined here today by a very crazy Boop. Hello, crazy Boop. How are you
My hair
doing?
is crazy.
Your, your hair is crazy? It's not that bad. It's fine. It looks good. It looks good. It looks fine. You're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
Yeah.
Anywho, we're gonna go quickly through some of the things that are going on in World of Tanks. We're not going to spend too much time on it, but a couple of things that are happening. There is the on track for the M48 Patton. Highly recommend. I believe it's one of Cadmec's favorite tanks, so you know if you have him, you can always put him in there.
If not that one, it's also Domo's. Domo likes the
Okay.
patents. I think he likes the tier 9 a little bit more than the tier 10, but he likes the patents.
That's pretty fair. Mirny ends today. There's about, I think, 12 hours left in Mirny. The community league is still running, I believe. So there is that. You can participate for prizes, if I'm not wrong. And if you are a Watt Salute member, so if you are a veteran or active military, make sure you link up with ID.me and then link your ID.me to your Wargaming account, and you will receive a free Patriot tank, which is super cool. It's a good tank, I've heard. I've played. I've enjoyed.
It's a very good hill fighter. That's that one.
Ooh, okay. Anywho, I have sent you an invite, Mr. Crazy Boop. I am going to be
Mirny's too hard.
Mirny's too.
Is
What do you
it?
mean Mirny's too hard?
That's what someone said. The
Well,
60
it
year
might
kid.
be.
He said Mirny's too hard. Are we playing Mirny?
Not today. Not today. We are focusing on just playing World of Tanks today. I am going to make sure I do our bingo squares. Make sure those run.
Bingo is back.
Yeah, bingo is back. So bingo is running right there. That is what the current status of the board looks like. This square, the most recent square, courtesy of Skid77.
Shoo. Get out of here. I'm streaming.
Is it Teddy?
It's the Theodore, yeah.
Okay. All right. So up first we have Insanely Average.
Hopefully he can average me out.
Okay. So I saw some people asking about which week of Weekly Watcher we are on. We are on week 2. You can look in the campaign details, and it will show you what is running and during what time. So I highly recommend that you always check out the campaign details. Oh my gosh, we have Cardboard Tragic Loss in chat. Hello, how are you? That was such a I loved that picture. Hello. Welcome to the stream. What's up, little wolf? How are you doing? All right. Mr. Crazy Boop, are you gonna join us in this wolf pack that we have going?
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah.
We're doing Patriots.
We're doing that.
I could do Patriot or I could do Super Pershing. No, I can't do Super Pershing.
No, that's preferential.
That is a preferential one.
Please do make sure, by the way, that you let us know when you want us to hydrate, by the way.
I am not prepared. Teddy, get me some water.
That's okay. I'll drink double the amount just for you. I have water and I have McDonald's sweet tea. Which, by the way, thank you, Insanely Average.
Nice.
You gotta use your points, Steamroller. Gotta use your points. Anyway, tier 8 count in. Hopefully my button works today. Yes, it does. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Medal. How many points for the sweet tea? Good question.
That's called a dehydration one. I don't think we have that option.
Dehydration option. Alrighty. What's up, Guano? How are you doing? All right. What do we want to do today? I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of the the Mirny name tags, name badges. I think they're really cool. Come with a dim sum, I wish.
You mean all of your points were invalid?
What?
The ones on stream don't expire, right?
Unless they changed it. Uh... Will there be any makeup hours? No, because I believe we had 2 streams last week.
We had a 36-hour one.
Tuesday to Tuesday, and oh no, we didn't have a Get Good stream last week. I can see what we can do for that.
Doesn't that one count?
No, for Weekly Watcher, no. It's Weekly Watcher is Tuesday to Thursday.
Oh, for the codes. Gotcha.
Well, they're not codes anymore. They're drops now.
The drops for the
where have you been, Mr. Boops?
You know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Had a day.
I'm just
Look
teasing
at my hair.
you. I know.
I've had a day.
You have had a day. Y'all.
2 Saturdays ago. It was not 2 Saturdays ago. Don't you wish that on me.
It technically was 2 Saturdays ago. There was this past weekend, that's one Saturday, and the weekend before that, which was stream, which is technically 2 Saturdays.
Goodness, how am I beating you? Oh wait, no, you're beating me now. Okay.
Yeah. So what you're saying is you would like stream to give you lots of praise because you've had a day.
I don't want to put anyone on blast, but there's a gentleman that's in a heavy tank that thinks he's an artillery, and I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't know how I feel about that either.
It usually isn't a grind, but today it was. Is the IS-7 coming?
I don't know.
We need him.
It's a good question. You know, probably should have checked some stuff before I wrecked some stuff. But make sure you don't get yourself wrecked by the artillery. Ouchies, that's a super conqueror. Ouch. You may get artied, BT dubs, and you gon' get your hit points relieved from you.
They're shooting me through the windmill. I would like to point that out. I just got shot through the windmill 3 times.
Through the what?
Yeah. There's no way they had that.
They did.
There's no way they did not.
I was literally looking at your front drive wheel and how far it was.
Yeah, my drive wheel is different. Please don't push me.
No, they were hitting your drive wheel because it was out in the open.
What's my drive wheel? It's not. I'm dead.
Ouch. Yeah. I'm also dead. That sucked. Ouch.
I got shot in the middle of my thing from behind the building. That's the thing.
The middle of what thing?
Right below my turret, whatever that. Not the lower Iglesias. What would you call that? The upper Iglesias, where the commander sits.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was shot through the thing.
Press X to doubt.
Oh, okay. Well.
All right, I'm going back to garage. That was kind of sad.
That was a really quick one.
Oof. Playing with too many plastic tanks recently. Well, fair.
Huffing the glue. That's what I was doing.
All right, this next square, courtesy of Ogre 1 Wasabi. Ogre 1 Wasabi. All right, thank you, Insanely Average. I'm sorry we didn't do real well today. Up next, we have Knee Jerker. Which, by the way, our platoon queue is looking a little Baron. So if you want to join our platoon queue, feel free. If not, it'll just be me and Mr. Boopster. That is A-okay.
Yay!
Oop. There we go. Let's see, I unlocked all the tanks in the garage. Anyway, could I sell the universe? I don't think so. I mean, what is it? The exchange event,
Those
was,
are special ones.
yeah, as pretty special. We'll see if and when the next time it comes around, but generally you may want to keep your hands on those, especially if in the future new tank lines unlock. You really want to be able to move up through that line.
Yeah, Chinese TDs are coming soon, right? That's the whole
Hashtag soon. I don't know.
hashtag soon.
Wait,
Tier 9. What?
wait. Chinese
What?
TDs?
I don't know. That's something. There's a gentleman that always comes in and asks for the weird stuff, and I'm like,
Oh yeah.
okay.
I mean, we have Chinese tank destroyers.
Oh, do we? Okay.
Yeah.
Japanese ones, I guess.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they ask about Japanese tank destroyers all the time. Oh boy.
Let's do the Santa Moss.
Okay. All right. Tier 9 count in. All right. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Battle. I think the only tank lines that the devs have talked about were like the wheeled British vehicles, the Japanese TDs, and there was one more, I feel like. I don't remember. I think it was the Italian heavies. And then they've also teased some Yoh tanks, which are really weird and strange. But I know that the devs have talked about, with the wheeled vehicles, they've talked about how they don't want to introduce more wheeled vehicles until they're, like, comfortable with the way that the French ones are in the meta of the game. And when I say meta, I mean, like, how the game plays within each match. The sup tanks? The what? Excuse?
They should build a freeway right down the middle of this map, so heavy tanks have another place to go.
What? That would be a terrible place for heavies to go.
Why? It'd just be another alley.
True, I guess.
Just be
Sazzer
a
says,
secondary alley.
yeah. Sazzer says, how are people going to be comfortable with the wheeled vehicles when the devs don't do anything about them? Except for they've been changed like a couple times already. So
they've done stuff to them.
They might be small changes that maybe you didn't realize, or maybe you missed the fact that they happened. They've definitely been changed. We're very slow about changing things sometimes. Okay, remove the wheels. All right. Well, you know, at first you were reasonable, and now you've changed. Well, you changed from, hey, do something, like you haven't done anything, to, oh, now that you've told me that you have made changes, I'm actually just going to tell you what my real opinion is. Just come out straight with, you don't like them, so you want them removed. I really hate when people, like, if we're gonna talk about your opinion, at least tell me what your opinion is, instead of, like, lying and saying we haven't done anything, and then telling me what your opinion is. I don't know. Like, I'd rather have a conversation than figure out that you just don't actually want to have a conversation. Also remove tracks from Artie. All right, that's incredibly unreasonable.
That's fair. That's totally fair. We'll remove the ability for artillery to even move around.
We'll give them wheels.
We'll give the artillery wheels. There you go.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
percolating.
I fully agree with that, Wendigo. Like, people have talked about it in the past, but they really want to make
Oh
it
shoot!
so,
Oh shoot!
with wheeled vehicles, they're balanced as like a separate type
I wasn't paying
within the
attention.
matchmaker, just to make sure like if one team has one, then the other team gets one as well. I agree with that. I agree with that. And honestly, that's not even like, personally, I don't think that's a big change, but honestly, facts and stats wise, I don't know if that can make a huge difference in how matchmaker works. Oi, he's out in the open.
Yeah, he was
That might
lining
have been
me
the
up.
track. But yeah, I don't know. Hey, oh, wow, he did take a good chunk of your hit points. I don't think World of Tanks will ever add modern vehicles to the game. I think World of Tanks is very comfortable within the eras that we are in. Especially since,
Would you even play even anymore if there was a there was modern tanks in the old
like,
World of Tanks game?
yeah, I feel like the balance of that wouldn't be super great. Like, people talk about, like, oh, wargaming can't balance tanks, but then they want us to introduce tanks that would be completely out of balance with things like active armor and composite armor and all this other stuff, and it's just like,
Yeah.
so what you're asking for is more mechanics within the current mechanics that are already, people are saying that we can't
Oh.
balance, so
Okay.
would have a
Well.
separate battle tier, so just make a new game
Yeah. Right. At
is
that point.
all. Just at that point, just make a new game, because like you can't just you can't add everything to your game.
No,
Sometimes you can't.
artillery drowns themselves, so then they just add
Tanks
submarines.
should add helicopters? No? How about
Okay.
no? That's not a
Yes. Let's add
no.
helicopters. Literally the tank killers.
Yeah. That sounds like
It's
a
really
horrible idea, not gonna lie.
ah,
That sounds like a great way to make it
put all the
so
armor you want. I
light
guarantee
tanks
you
are
can't stop a
useless.
Hellfire missile.
Add smoke, but people don't understand our vision system outright. Like,
That's true.
it'll only make it so people who understand the vision system will be able to use them way better than people who don't. Like, we add so many little things and people are just like, it's terribly balanced, but then they want to add things that could be also terribly balanced.
Night mode. Let's do night mode.
Oh my gosh. Nah.
Day and night. Let's do weather.
Isn't that a song? Day and night. I
Probably.
toss and turn, da 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 da. Ouchies.
Night mode. And then the outlandish antenna physics.
Outlandish antenna. I need my antennae physics. Yeah. Speed for survival.
Poking the bear.
You
Yeah,
range
poking all
again?
the bears.
Yeah, Cold Nemesis, I definitely know what you're talking about. My thing is, like, people thought that removing the boost from the wheeled vehicles would make them useless before we even introduced them to the game. Like, my concern is always, like, do people know what they're asking for when this happens? Because, like, guaranteed, almost every single time someone is asking for something that requires a major mechanics change, and they're just like, no, it'll be fine. And then people are just like, man, why doesn't wargaming balance their current mechanics instead of continually introducing new ones? Y'all literally keep asking for new mechanics. There's nothing outlandish about a desire for antenna physics. Yeah, no. Wheels need to be tracked when hit, not wobbled away. Well, realistically, I understand why you feel that way. I would settle for allowing people to get assisted damage from destroying a track. But the thing is, with the way that I have... I like how 13 Disciples, like,
Excuse
clip
me?
that
Yeah.
it featured was his cat. But But no, I just my thing is, this is what I don't know the actual mechanics all the time. I don't. I just make very educated guesses. My educated guess on how wheeled vehicles work, and let me just pull up one of the wheeled vehicles just so I can show y'all what I mean. So when you track a standard tank, like the whole track acts as one entity, right?
Yep.
So think of it this way. You have a standard tank like the Barask. That is the whole track. The whole track is one entity. And then you have wheeled vehicles in which each wheel is basically an entity.
It's
That
supposed to be
means
separate, yeah.
yeah, so essentially when you destroy one wheel, it just slows down the tank, right? So, but that means that technically one wheel kind of acts like one whole track. So in order to and I've talked about this especially with like tracking what is it? Like assisted damage. If you damage one wheel, I feel like you should get tracking damage for any wheel that you destroy on a wheeled vehicle, because if somebody else destroys another wheel, you should get like your assisted damage split between
Yeah.
the amount of like people who have destroyed a wheel, you know? So each, if we, and to go by Nitzer's question, what about vehicles with four wheels? You destroy one wheel and it would not be able to move hardly at all. I get that, but in terms of like programming within a game, it's a lot different and potentially much more difficult. They should also stop moving. I personally don't agree with that. I just
No, they
think
should be able to limp to some sort of cover.
I think they should slow down a lot more than they currently do. That's my personal opinion.
They need to make a new asset for them entirely and not base them off of like tanks. That's my opinion.
Because like
I went
I
over
don't
that
know.
yesterday.
Oh no. Anywho, but no. I guess for me, I don't think wheeled vehicles should stop. Period. Even if you destroy just one wheel, I just think that they should slow down a lot more than they do with the number of wheels that they have that are destroyed. Because, like, the thing is, I get why they slow down, and, like, you can't always model a real vehicle in world, or model a game after real life 100%, because like real life is not balanced. It's not. So do it. If I was a dev, I might, but
Sure.
anyone can drive on a flat tire. If you're in danger and have a flat tire, do you stop right there and change a tire? No. But and like I get it. I definitely understand. Like wheeled vehicles are really powerful, and they've actually like changed. I think they've only somewhat changed the meta, only in that early on spots are a lot earlier than they used to be. But the thing about World of Tanks is if you're in a wheeled vehicle and you're spotting for your team, if your team's not in position, like, they're not getting damaged sooner. The only thing that can damage a tank is either the person spotting them or somebody else. So if you're in a fast wheeled vehicle and you spot the enemy, unless like your artillery is already loaded, like they're not going to be able to do much. So I don't know. Wheeled vehicles may have really the biggest difference that I see is that they scare people. People are scared that they've been spotted so early. That's why I think there has been a big change, you know? And then
also put in the caveat of
or
I'm
at
not
least
good with
early
wheeled
game.
vehicles, so how are they that broken? Like
I don't know. I get it and I understand.
Because it's not an equal like, oh well, if you played a wheel vehicle, you're going to mow everyone down.
Yeah.
It's not that situation at all.
So
It takes nuance and
I
stuff.
definitely understand, but the thing is, when games are, you know, when you see a character or anything that is very here's my explanation. When you have high skill, you can do a lot of things with a wide variety of different characters, vehicles, whatever. If you have high skill, you can play basically any tank that you want to a certain level. Some tanks have a higher achievable level of uh expertise, whereas some vehicles don't have as much potential as other vehicles. So there's a potential level of performance, and then there's an expected entry into being able to perform average in a tank. You know? Does that make sense? Anyway, tier 10 count in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Battle. But no. So let's give some examples. Like the E100. It has a low barrier of entry into being able to like play average in the E100. But with a tank like the EBR, the entry level to play average in that tank is higher, which means if you have low skill, you're not going to be able to perform as well as you might in any other tank. And then the EBR, for example, has a very high barrier of entry, and then it also has a very high potential achievable level. So, you know what I'm saying? Like the EBR is one of those like
And also,
tanks.
they're blind, so like you have to keep moving.
They
So that
are.
removes you from cover
They
90% of the
are.
time.
I
So
agree.
if
But
you're not paying attention to like hills and stuff like that, you're probably not going to be doing that well
yeah.
in your wheel
Can
tanks.
you demonstrate that by playing the E100 and the EBR?
Sure, I'll do that. I'll play the EBR.
I hate playing the EBR because I'm not good in it. I don't know how to play light tanks well, which means I'm not gonna play them. But you know,
I mean,
Crazy
I get
Dude's
the
crazy.
theory.
He's into it. He's into it.
I
He's
get
just
the
like, I
theory
can
of
do
it,
that for
but it
you.
never works out for me.
All right, so we got
Like,
2 more bingo squares, by the way. Here's bingo square number 1, courtesy of Sep Dog, a hydrate from Jen Grant. And then another random bingo square, courtesy of J Lineman. J Lineman. Which I will. Okay, that did roll. Awesome. There you go. But yeah, I don't know. Like, it's difficult to balance things when the average person can't play something very well because of the high barrier of entry. Because you don't know how you should balance it or how to change a vehicle to make it so maybe the barrier of entry is lower, but the potential to play it doesn't raise. So let's say you change the wheeled vehicles to make it so people who aren't as good can play well in the EBR. That means you've made it easier to play, which means people with high skill will be able to do much better in it. You know, there are definitely tanks that are more friendly to pick up for sure, but I don't necessarily think that we should balance things just because they're easy to start playing, but they have like a capped out maximum potential, you know? Like you can only do so well in the defender. Like it's not an amazingly awesome, like crazy great tank, because the thing is, like, if the skill level of the enemy team goes up, like your potentially goes down. So, I don't know. Balance the game with their wallets. That sounds like a horrible idea. I don't know.
Someone mentioned that the entry point is now lower for new players, and when the game is 10 years old, you have to do that, because if I was to get into this game and someone said, "Oh, well, you got to play with me all the time, otherwise you won't be up my tiers." So like, if you want someone to play at tier 10 with you kind of want them to get through it a little quicker.
True, but you know, there are definitely like limitations to that. Idiot
Yes.
proof. I guess I'm using nicer terms than that, Peter, for sure. But yes, when I like skill definitely plays a part, obviously. But you know, I don't necessarily understand the idea that, you know, there are people who, anytime we introduce anything, it's immediately overpowered just because there's like people who don't necessarily understand something. And like I get it, like it's, you know, World of Tanks is consistently introducing new stuff. That just, like, are you just saying like we shouldn't introduce new stuff because you can't learn it? Like,
Yeah, I hear you.
should we just stop updating content so you can learn something? I don't know. I World of complaints. Nah. I mean, you know, every game has its qualms, and every game has, you know, stuff that people don't like about it. But you can't solely base, you know, game changes only on opinions of people. You know, you have to balance it with data. Like if people are saying, "Oh,
Mhm.
this thing's overpowered," but realistically, like it's just because the tank's new and people like are still learning how to, uh, you know, get how to damage the tank. Like, what are you supposed to do?
You want to avoid knee-jerk reactions to stuff. Like, oh hey, this is overpowered. Well, let's get more data on it
Yeah.
before we nerf it to the ground.
So it's just because the wheel can block something doesn't mean it's fundamentally broken. That just means that the mechanics that are already within the game are functioning in a way that isn't ideal. Like, just because you added a pickle to a sandwich and that pickle makes your sandwich sour doesn't mean you can't, like, change what you put in your sandwich, as in remove the pickle.
Yeah, remove the pickle. It still leaves the
Just
juice.
literally change the wheels. It's fine, you know? That's all. I don't understand that as the reasoning. I
All right,
personally don't
excuse
think
me.
EBR has messed up the game.
Excuse me.
I
Pardon me.
think the biggest thing is because people have changed their like they've changed their way of playing, because people are afraid when they get spotted so early by EBRs that people don't advance to the positions that they used to. And so the positions that people go to aren't the same as they used to. That means like EBRs are taking advantage of things that, you know, previously you weren't able to take advantage of. You know, like I said, EBR can really only be like utilized well by high skill players. I don't know. This is all genuinely just like my personal opinion and personal hot takes, and obviously people are, you know, allowed to disagree. I'm just trying to let people understand that not everything, it's not black and white. It's not just, you know, they're broken so remove them. It's what can we change about wheeled vehicles, you know, to not just give up, you know. Can't damage them when hitting the wheels. So literally just change the wheels. That's all you're asking, right? That's genuinely all you just asked.
Just change that mechanic.
Unlike tanks that can be damaged when tracking them, you can damage EBRs when hitting their wheels.
Yeah, they're
Absolutely, 100%.
The module HP still goes down, so if
Here.
it's not going to be that hard to break it after that.
Let's let
Pickles
me.
are so unlucky because they're weird.
Let's
It's like mushrooms and tofu.
I guess no one uses Xbox. That's because you're on the PC page, Donald.
Hey, you silly.
You've never seen it in the thousands of battles? Okay, then we're here, Crazy Boop. Grab your EBR and join me in a training.
You got it.
We're gonna fully prove and like we're gonna test mechanics. That's what we're gonna do today. We're going to test mechanics because I am fully under the impression that for some reason, like I don't know. Y'all,
Wait,
it's really not that.
Do I need to
here.
go into a different platoon?
I will
with you, or...
invite you.
Okay.
I gotta create the thing first though. But the thing is, like, the wheels act like, you know, tracks generally are, right? So at certain angles, you'll only damage the wheel and not the tank. Did you know that the wheels of the EBR are bigger than the body of the tank, which means you can pen the wheels and not even hit the tank, period. So, you know. All right. Return the crew. All right. Okay. Start this. We're gonna show people how mechanics work. So, which by the way, hydrate.
Because I'm a tier 8.
Oh, I don't have premium on this tank. Screen penetrated.
Right,
yeah,
fast
exactly.
Mode is all 4 down,
yeah.
Correct? That's how that works? Okay.
Aiming for the upper hull and it still gets blocked by the wheels. I would like you to show me an example of that, Mr. Leopard. Because you're giving examples, but, like... I don't know. Okay, meet me at the top of the tracks. Don't mechanics work with wrenches and screwdrivers? Yes, they do. We'll show you... No, top of the tracks. Top of the tracks.
Oh,
just so, yeah, okay. Just so there's, like, clarity and whatnot. Okay, so... when you look... turn a little bit more sideways, by the way. Like, perpendicular to me.
Yep, can't drive. There we go.
Okay, so... There are different parts of the EBR's wheel that you can hit. There's one part that will basically go all the way through without hitting their armor at all. That is because there is no hull to hit. However, if you aim...
I took no damage.
But if you aim somewhere like here, you will damage them because it goes through their wheel and hits them in the hull.
Oh, that really hurt!
There are many parts of this wheel that will go through the wheel but not hit the hull, including you can aim lower and not hit the armor. The thing is, like, these act like screens. These act like screens. You can penetrate the wheel but not penetrate the armor. So if I, let's say, hit, I believe... Well, I'm sorry. I just killed him. Well, he's not driving. Yeah, you're right. He's not driving 90 miles per hour, which, by the way, they don't go 90. I believe they only go 40 miles per hour. It's like 90 kilometers per hour. But
It's 60.
the thing is, if you're not penetrating the wheel and hitting the hull, you're not doing damage, period, outright. You're not going to do damage, yes. Like, the angles matter as well. You can hit spaced armor, which, you know, let's say 10 millimeters thick, and your penetration will be lowered as it goes through. Mr. Leopard, you're saying that as if that would change the mechanics. You're literally just saying to me that because the tank goes fast and you can't hit the hull, that you're not doing damage. So you're saying that because you're not hitting the hull while it's driving, that is the reason to remove the wheels. Is that correct? Is that right?
Oh, that hurt me a lot more than it hurt you.
It did. I don't know why you rammed me.
I wasn't trying to.
Yes. Oh, okay. Or let it drive into you. Where are you going? It's too fast? I mean, but if it... No, Mr. Leopard, I'm genuinely trying to understand, because the thing is, like, if I don't understand what your opinion is, then I can't understand, like, what can be changed. Like, if you tell me that your TV's broken, I'm going to have to look through every single part of your TV to try and figure it out. But if you say, my screen is broken on the TV, can you fix it? I will replace the screen. If you give me very specifically what your issue with the wheeled vehicle is, we can talk about it. I'm not trying to discourage you from talking about it. I'm trying to understand what your opinion is here. That's all. Like, just because they're fast and just because occasionally when you hit the wheels, like, you're not hitting the hull and you're not doing any damage, does not mean that that is what should be balanced. Like, just because it's fast, do we want to change the size of the ELC even 90 just because people can't hit it when it's moving? No, I've never heard anybody talk about that, really. No, Dad Ops, please send a ticket. We generally don't deal with tickets on this channel. Always send a ticket first, because trying to help people with technical issues would take way too much time.
I mean, it's just like anything. A gaming Stutka.
Yeah.
Stucha?
So Wargaming is saying that OP Brit. No, I'm literally not saying that at all. A gaming Stutka. I'm just asking to clarify an opinion. All I am saying is the reasoning that I was given is that when an EBR is moving at full speed and you shoot at it and you hit its wheel, maybe when you hit its wheel, you didn't actually go through and hit its hull. That's all I'm saying. I'm trying to understand.
Is there an auto flip on EBRs? I didn't know that.
An auto flip? No. Does not.
I mean, there's auto flip, but it's only in, as far as I know, Steel.
Yeah. Is it in Steel Hunter? I think you can.
It is. It does it for you automatically.
It mostly feels
after a
bad.
set amount of time.
Yeah, I agree that it does feel bad, and then, like, yeah, I don't know. I've literally never said I don't believe that EBRs have made a huge difference in the way that World of Tanks is played. I'm just genuinely trying to understand, is the issue actually with the tank? Like, what parts of the tank are annoying? People are saying the wheels, okay, the wheels are annoying. We can make it slow down, like, we can make it slow down even more when you destroy a wheel, which we have, by the way. But if the issue is, when I shoot the tank, sometimes I miss the hull and don't do damage, I don't think that's necessarily a reasoning that they should be removed.
That
Maybe we
happens to
just
all tanks.
like I don't know, crazy people. Like maybe we just make the wheels smaller or the hull bigger so you can hit the hull more often. But like they shouldn't just be removed because you can't hit the hull
Oh, I agree with
sometimes.
you. Isn't
I don't know.
your favorite tier 10? It's V-shaped, right? So it has angled armor behind your sprockets and your wheel gears. So
Yeah.
you
I don't
still have a
know.
chance to block a shot when it goes through. So
Yeah.
that's
I don't
some
know.
tanks have that.
Like I need more information because this is the current like
I would
opinion that I'm
agree.
getting. That's the
With
current
Tank and
opinion that I'm getting.
with Tank and Som is he says the ELC is much worse.
Make
Yes,
them
it's much worse.
okay. So Frank Booth says make them more susceptible to damage and destruction. That's pretty fair. That's pretty fair. Like to do that, like I said, make the hull bigger, make the wheels smaller, make it so
What?
it's like the wheels overlap with the hull more. And
I
yes,
don't think you should
Warador is
definitely
also
play
right.
something to understand it
Slow them
better.
down more.
Not just be like, I'm not playing that. It's too broken.
Remove the players that play better than me. No.
Yes. Get in there.
Uh,
I'm 3,000. Let's see. Bye, Tragic. You're gone.
what by Tragic of God? Why?
You're better than me.
Because I'm better than you. That's fair. But no, like, uh, and by the way, we don't talk statistics unless we've actually done the research here. I always try and speak from experience, and like that's what I'm reading.
90% of the time, I don't even try to shoot a wheeled tank
Yeah.
because my traverse is never that fast.
I've 3-marked the EBR. I think it's terrible for the game. For what reason? Because I genuinely like to know.
If you're 3-marking it, it means you're
Center
doing
wheel
pretty decent
hitbox,
on
leaving
it.
the hull more exposed to direct damage. That's actually a good one. Are dual track mechanics the mouse that have dual track design? I don't know. That's a good question, Chase Shaw. He hasn't 3-marked it. Yeah, I know. And
Oh,
people always talk like, oh, I did X thing, but like, I don't really care about your stats. Like, tell me
yes.
exactly your thoughts. Yes, Wargaming has that. Yes, we
Yes.
have, but we haven't, literally because they're trying to figure out how French-wheeled
Yeah.
vehicles should fit in the game. That's literally the reasoning
They don't
is
want to
we
add
haven't, yeah, we haven't
because
fit
like
them in.
German ones are up, and so is the British ones. So there are people that are like, why aren't these in the game? And like,
Yeah,
well, we still haven't fully fleshed out one
yeah,
entire part of a tech tree. Why are we going to add more complications to it?
yeah. As Monkey brings up a good point, if you break a wheel, you don't get assisted damage. I've talked about this during in streams
Yeah.
previously. I think that wheels should act kind of like spotting damage does, in which if multiple people have damaged different wheels of an EBR, both of those should get the assisted damage, but divided by the amount of people that have damaged them.
Per percentage of damage. Is that what you
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
if I did the
Because
most damage, I would get the most XP out of that.
no, spotting damage is experience-wise is divided by the amount of people spotting when the damage is done. Currently, yes, that is correct. You do not get assisted damage from breaking a wheel. That's because the tank is still moving. However, like I said earlier, I don't fully understand how the mechanics work here, but my guess is each wheel is an individual track, but because you
Yep.
can't fully track an EBR unless you destroy all of the wheels, it doesn't track assisted damage. However, if I were to think of a system that would make it so people get assisted damage, it's if you destroy a wheel on a wheeled vehicle, you get tracking damage or assisted damage for that wheel. If somebody shoots that same wheel and re-damages it, that person takes over the tracking damage like you do in a normal tank when you track it. However, if there are two people and one damages the front wheel and one damages the rear wheel, then they should have that split into two, which is basically literally how many ever people have damaged different wheels. they should get it divided amongst them. It's really easy.
Joke's on you, I drive backwards, so you can't aim for the engine.
Okay. Anyway, I tried inviting DS Leverage, but I have not, they are not in our platoon.
How dare they?
Very sad. I'm very sad. But no.
Reserves.
Unnatural turning speed is one of the issues. Okay. Physics are good. The turning
I wasn't
physics
turning that
are
crazy.
horrible.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. Yeah,
I wasn't turning that
I
quick.
agree with that. I think they turn kind of weird, but then again, it's probably partially due to the physics engine that we use. That's my only thing. That's like, I tried to tell people the extent of my knowledge. I'm already at the extent of my knowledge, but my guess is the reason why they turn that way is just due to the mechanics of the physics engine that we have. But
When you have
oops,
the middle
you
two
pick a
wheels up,
tank.
you're supposed to turn better, right?
Yes, you're supposed to be able to, but you go slower.
Yeah.
But yeah, Boops, you pick a tank and I'll match because we are out of people in our. Oh, okay. Our platoon queue is quite empty.
No one wants to play with me. Okay, fine.
Right?
Fine.
That's okay.
You're getting brain damage from this? I'm sorry.
Press X, 180 turn in a split second. Press X again. Yeah, that's a. See, my thing is like, whenever you see people come up with new stuff in other games, like how to do something, like if you look at Overwatch, if there's like a mechanic where it's just like, oh, with this character, if you do this, people try to learn that. But when people get new mechanics in World of Tanks, they're just like, no.
Do they even steer? Is there even like a steering animation for them?
What's the critical part? Huh? Steering animation? What do you mean?
Yeah, like do the wheels steer?
Yes, they do.
Like, do you get to see that?
Yeah. Yeah. Mr. Jahed says, what's the critical part on a critical hit that doesn't do anything? You completely destroyed a module. Tanks are made up of modules, as you can see in my bottom left-hand corner. Engine, like my ammo rack, all of those are modules. If you critically damage, oops, I don't know why I'm going this way. If you critically damage something and you don't do damage to the actual tank, that means you destroyed the module, but you did not hit part of the tank that would do damage to its hit points.
Okay, well that makes no sense. So wheels up is your fast mode, wheels down is your turning mode.
Ah, okay. I don't know. I don't play EVRs enough to understand that.
I just figured it out.
Oh, that's actually a great suggestion. The tester said turning view range down when a vehicle is going fast should be something considered for EVRs. Oh, hi.
Well, it's supposed to be like that already. Like, the view range is supposed to be down.
No. What? What mechanic is that? Oh, you mean, okay, sorry. You meant that the EBR has a low view range to begin with, right?
Yeah.
Oop. Okay. You gotta phrase things differently, because I was like, what are you talking about?
I'm driving. This is... All of my IQ is going into steering this thing.
Okay, that's fair. No, that would be an interesting mechanic for that tank. Honestly, that's actually a pretty solid idea for that. I can't... Or at least for the EBR, you know? How can they spot driving like a crazy person? Yeah. I can understand. I can understand. Oof. We gotta hit this dude.
I got taken out by a dyslexic. Good luck! I spotted what I could spot.
Oof. Does more streams with game devs. Thanks and mechanics. To try it without devs involved. Sure, but like 90% of the time we do dev Q&As, nobody actually asks the questions that should be asked.
We
Because
even try to do it ahead of time too. Like, ask
yeah.
your questions on this forum, and
Like
then
people ask questions that have already been answered, or they ask like what's coming next. They like never ask questions about like, hey, what's on the table for like how y'all want to rebalance the wheeled vehicles. That would be a great question, but nobody asks it because like people want to know what tank lines are coming next, you know? I went great lengths to ask very specific dev questions. Yes. Yes, you have. But also, I don't know. I just get frustrated because when we do dev Q&As, I feel like I've personally felt that they were wasted just because there are questions that people ask that aren't necessarily questions that can give you more insight as to how World of Tanks works and how the like user base, the player base can help like make better suggestions on how to like make changes to World of Tanks, you know? How come Watt console has changed so differently from Watt PC? Because we have
different
different
developers,
developers. They're completely different
100%.
studios.
They don't.
World of Tanks PC develops in Minsk. World of Tanks console develops in Chicago. Sorry,
Chicago.
I interrupted you, Boobs. I keep
It's
interrupting you,
okay.
actually.
That's fine.
Oh,
It's a question you've answered before.
yeah.
The deep dish pizza sways their development of World of Tanks console.
Does it?
It's the pizza's fault.
Like, okay. Okay.
They get drunk on cheese. Look
Oh,
out!
hey. Yeah, I see him.
Man,
Yeah.
he wants to die. Are you out of ammo? No, you're not.
Nope. I had one left. Any idea when the next Q&A, dev Q&A is? No, but we can,
We'll be sure to let you know.
yeah, we can definitely try and see if we can get one planned, you know?
Yeah. So the holidays are difficult for our devs and us to coordinate anything because they have their own schedule and so do we. And usually from around November through January, we're kind of like not around.
Do the Minsk developers like the ideas that console has come out with, i.e. the introduction of modern tanks? That's a good question. We're not the console team, but
Sometimes
I feel like that would be better asked
sometimes
to them.
I have seen like World of Tanks take from Blitz, take parts from
Yeah,
Blitz.
yeah.
So it's like they do share each other's dev things when someone has a good idea. Yeah, if you have three products doing different things, you have a better chance of someone doing something right.
Yeah.
So that someone will like.
Wouldn't be that be solved by pre-screening or curating? Except we have done that, Blutarski. We've done multiple
Different,
pre-screened
different
Q and
styles of it.
A's. But people, when we do that, they're just like, oh, obviously you're pre-screening it so like people don't ask questions like, why don't you remove EBRs? When realistically, that's just a terrible question to ask. Like,
Something snarky back, I guarantee you.
it's a terrible question to ask. Like, you know, are you gonna go to McDonald's and be like, why don't you remove the Big Mac from the menu? No. That's
Well,
a
why don't you
terrible,
buy
like,
more cookies? That would be their answer.
like,
If you
wait,
bought more cookies, that would be the. That's why.
when are we getting antenna
I want to
physics?
play the
Banned.
Astro band immediately.
Banned. Right,
I want to
pick
play
a
the
tank.
Rex.
Why should anyone admit they made a mistake? Because you can rectify it? Because you can make things better? Because literally, if you know what the issue is, you can make steps to resolve it? Like,
So
I don't know. I just,
as a developer, you don't want to make promises
yeah, that too.
because like you might make a promise that your game doesn't have the ability to even
Fulfill.
incorporate the solution
Yeah.
into it. I know that's
Yeah.
why for the longest time they didn't say anything about the soap rocks. It was because they
Yeah.
weren't sure they could fix it.
Well, because the thing is, the soap rocks has to do with our physics engine, and we don't
Yeah,
work on our physics engine. Or, like,
exactly.
all parts of our physics engine, because part of our physics engine is the, oh gosh, what is it called? The Havoc engine. Havoc engine would literally have to change the parameters of the specific texture that is being used. So if grass is a texture, it has certain parameters that make your tank work a specific way on grass.
And
Same
also
thing with rocks.
when you're doing game engines, some materials that you put in there might not even have any values
Yeah.
to begin with to tweak. So they would have
Yep.
to literally go in there and create
Create
something that has
variables.
values.
Yep.
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 And have to implement that into all of the game engine and have
Yeah.
us be able to see that and go, oh, okay, now our game can
Back
do
Carl.
that.
I love Carl mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
I enjoy it
everything
quite
everything
well.
that Crazy Boop is talking about is literally some of the stuff that you wouldn't necessarily immediately think of, but are actually things that genuinely need to be, like, thought about and addressed when people are asking particular changes, you know? There are a
That's why
lot of
UDK
things
is a
that people
very,
don't.
very big game engine for a lot of
Yeah.
games, and everybody loves using it because it's
Yeah.
very user friendly and it's been in development since games were starting to be 3D.
Yeah.
So, like the Unreal Tournament, that's the game engine that's been in development since the dawn of 3D shooters.
Yeah.
Everybody that's a 3D shooter has been doing it.
Would half tracks be workable in WoT? Honestly, I don't think so. That's my personal opinion. I don't think so. Just because I already think that wheeled vehicles are kind of pushing it just
Yeah, that's what I was
because
gonna say.
well, just because of what role they're supposed to play. Like, what would
Yeah.
half tracks be? Would they also be light tanks? If so, like, you know, light tanks can, like, they have to really be balanced either around their speed and mobility or, like, concealment. I don't necessarily, like, light tanks already kind of, push certain medium tanks out of the running. So it's just like, where else are things going to start going? You know, could class them as TDs. Oh, you know, good point. I'll give you that one, Gaming Stuka. Also, thank you for actually having a conversation with me. I know I, like, come across very, like, as a matter of fact, but I try to make sure everybody understands, or at least in some way understands what is being asked. So if I came across as, like, really negative or, like, not wanting to necessarily Chaz hot tonight. Chaz is, like, awesome tonight. I'm really appreciating the conversation here. But no, I don't know. Sometimes when you ask for certain things, I don't know what I'm doing right now. I want to go backwards, but I didn't want to get hit. Sometimes people don't fully understand that when particular things are being asked, that it's not necessarily going to be something straightforward just because of what interacts with it, you know? Yeah, I definitely agree with what you're saying, Perklin. We're not very quick when it comes to making changes to tanks, but, you know, I definitely would say at the very least, I really hope that when people like make suggestions that we understand fully the kinds of things that we can change, or like what our devs are willing to change in order to balance a vehicle, because I think that's a huge point, is when the players don't know what is on the table, like, it's gonna be harder to, like, balance something when the feedback doesn't talk about it, I guess. Yeah. Game elements and actually changed benefits as a whole. Yeah, I mean, I can understand that. But that's the other thing is, like, y'all have probably noticed we use a lot of, like, fun game modes to like, test new mechanics, which I think is really nice, personally. Longer delay. I don't know. I'm just gonna sit up on this because I'm distracted by talking in
Me
chat.
too. But the other way. I'm talking. I want revenge on this IS4 for blapping me in the booty.
Overpower a heavy tank? You mean the fact that they're fast and can go around somebody? What? What do you mean overpower? Map changes that have been made and already nerfs. Yeah. Spotting and concealment is a lot for a new player to learn. Yeah, I fully agree with what you said, police force.
It's not very covered.
Oof, Arch.
It's at least covered now in our tutorial.
Yeah.
About vision mechanics, because it wasn't before.
Yeah, like, back when you still had to just, like, when World of Tanks first started, even, like, up until, like, 2013, there was, like, no explanation for how things work, and you just kind of had to guess. Like, you really don't want to be a baseline of everyone having to guess how particular mechanics work, so. Larger maps? I mean, we do have Frontline, and we also have Grand Battles.
Larger maps are harder to balance and implement in our game engine.
Yes, they are. I played for years before I understood vision mechanics, yeah. Yeah, a lot of people did.
How much data does it take? A lot. Like, we're talking a bunch of battles over a bunch of servers, because RU might be doing something that NA doesn't do completely. So if you try to balance something like that, it's not going to go very well for everybody else.
Yeah. Okay, reworked. I mean...
Listen here, Wargaming.
I mean, do something better with your time if you're just, like, here... Like, you don't have anything better to do?
I appreciate the concern and the passion, but definitely keep an open mind about it.
Yeah. Like, I don't understand the idea of coming into the stream just to be like, oh ho ho, wargaming suck.
Oh,
like,
okay. That's fair.
I don't know.
Thank you.
I don't know.
Thank
More
you for your time.
Scrabble. I don't want you to kill me.
Consider me cyberbullied. My feelings are hurt.
Consider me cyberbullied.
I will never recover.
Oh no, I'm so sorry. I know. The Thursday stream was canceled and, you know, wasn't really on the books, but bruh, I know.
That was kind of on me.
Dude, why don't you just, like, come here and talk to us like we're real people? But no, when it comes to balancing, we are very slow about it. And I know, like, wheeled vehicles have been in the game for a really long time. I've talked about this a couple times, but when it comes to balancing,
of it.
yeah,
it took I think 6 months or a year before they actually even started considering, hey,
yeah. Well, because
slow this down.
Do you want to know why, Mr. Boop? I feel like so many people don't know the reason why. The reason why it takes so long for us to, like, do particular balancing is because for, like, the first 6 months to even a year, like, it's all data gathering. Do you know why? because the first like 3 months is literally people who have either too much money in their actual wallets and just convert XP to max out to the
Oh,
top tier
true.
tank,
Yeah.
or they're so good at the game that they have so much free XP that they just free XP the top tank. Okay, well, now they're all playing the top tank. Well, what about all of the tanks between that? Well, it takes them a while to, like, have people playing the other tiers, okay? So it takes a while for them to play the other tiers. Well, now we have a lot of data from people who are really good players with a lot of free XP, and we have a lot of data from people who have, like, you know, plenty of money to like unlock those tanks. What about the rest of the server? Like, we need the averages of that data, so we need more people from every single range of skill level to be able to really understand where this tank stays.
I don't think I've played more than a handful, maybe like 4 or 5 games in an EVR in a wheeled vehicle before I was like, okay, yeah.
So it's just like, it takes a long time outright just to get data to be able to understand these. And the thing is, it's different from other games. Like, if you look at something like League of Legends or Overwatch, you get to play every single character outright. Like, they're... Or actually, sorry,
still,
not everyone.
But they've had to go back and rebalance them because their new ones are so much more powerful than the old ones.
It's not always, like, more powerful. It's just different. It's just particular tanks have particular roles. It's well, like, literally... So
I played a lot of League of Legends, and what I mean by powerful is they added more, like, abilities and things on top of their abilities compared to the original, which was like, okay, well, Annie does this and she stuns.
Yeah.
Whereas now it's like this character that's kind of like Annie, she does this and stuns, but so also does this.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh,
so
okay.
It's not. So then it's not just more powerful. It's literally just more useful.
Yeah.
It's more useful.
But now
it doesn't.
Why are you
it doesn't
gonna play Annie at that point? You know
I know.
I mean?
I'm just trying to clarify, because when you say more powerful, people are like, oh, power creep.
Oh, okay. I hear what you're saying.
So the thing is, yes, people like Riot, they introduce new characters and they introduce like different mechanics for different characters and whatnot, but it's just like, they're different, and different doesn't always necessarily mean immediately more powerful. But no, but the biggest thing is, like, that's what live games are. My shells are just like not...
Megamind is not pathetic, Blue Nose. Megamind is amazing.
But no, like, that's what I like about live games, is they're constantly updating and they're constantly making changes to make sure things are, like, close to average or what they want to. I have done 0 damage, but, like, close to a general average, you know? But that's the thing, is, like, a lot of decisions are made by data and by, like, player opinion. So if players, like, are very into having something changed, like, it's going to be looked at, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the feelings match up with the data that's being gathered. Because if someone's just like, oh, every single game is wheeled vehicle on one side, wheeled vehicle on the other side, wheeled vehicle on one side, tracked light tank on the other side, like, the wheeled side always wins. If that's an over exaggeration, and that's like, you're not painting your opinion in a good light when you're over exaggerating your feelings into hoping that the data reflects. When the data reflects something completely different from your opinion is negated because your opinion is based on something that you believe is true, but is just outright not true. Like, if you think 99% of the time...
That's not true anymore, because they redid HE mechanics, so armor actually does matter now.
Yeah.
Many people are upset about the fact that HE, people can't just shoot HE at a heavy tank and whittle their life down in. Because a heavy tank has armor
tubes. It's called noob tubes. That's why games have rocket launchers, is because someone who can't aim very well can still do damage.
Ugh. I hate rocket launchers.
Yeah, same. But no, like, there's a lot of things that anytime I see someone say something like outrageous, like 99% of the games that I play are end in 015 or whatever. It's just like, I don't trust what you say because what you're saying is already a lie.
Yeah, I do
So
that too. I
so
over-exaggerate to
and
make a
like
point.
but the thing is, like, that's cool if you're trying to make a point, but don't make it your full opinion. Just be like, I don't know what the statistics are, but here are my feelings. Like, I know it's not how it is, but it feels like 99% of the time a blowout feels bad. And it's just like, okay, if a blowout
Has the
feels
data
bad,
shown
like,
that?
what can we
Because
change? It doesn't. It
Dax,
doesn't.
we don't have access to that data at all. That's something that the devs have.
Oh,
Like, we don't have access to Stronghold advances and Clan Wars data, other than
yeah.
just watching
Well,
matches.
no, I definitely understand what Dax is saying, and like I understand why their opinion is that. Um I I would say, like, when it comes to competitive gaming, people will choose the best tank for whatever situation you get. And I feel like that's kind of, or whatever situation you want to create. You know, so it's just like, if the EBR gives you the most amount of flexibility with its speed, then yeah, I can absolutely see that EBR is probably the most competitive light tank. Like, I honestly trust that opinion just because it makes sense. Like, that's how the meta is. But that doesn't mean in like random battles that just because competitive modes are one way doesn't mean that you should fully change a tank because the random modes are different. Like, you shouldn't base things solely on competitive, and you shouldn't base things solely on random. That's my thing, is like, nothing should be one or the other. I never thought I'd have anxiety until I tried shooting at an EBR. Yeah. I also get that anxiety. I know. I don't know. Like, today has been a day of tragic talking about tragic
There's
opinions, because like,
Repellent, that's not a thing. Like, that's
what's
just
something?
that's just the law of averages and high numbers of ratios.
Yeah.
Anytime you play a competitive game over and over again, you're going to probably equal out to 50% the higher the numbers go.
Do you want to know why that is? Because 50% is average. 50%, it's a bell curve. Like, there are people
Yeah.
at two ends of the curve, but like, everyone's gonna kind of land in the middle because that's the average. On average, people win and lose at about the same rate, unless you are a detriment to your team or you are a advantage to your team.
That hurt me. That hurt my heart a little bit. Because my win rate is not 50%.
Tragic is much nicer than I would be. But that's because I understand why people are frustrated. I know why people are frustrated, but like, people are frustrated sometimes over things that are uncontrollable. Like people are just like, oh, you know, lopsided games. That's literally because World of Tanks in each match has a limited amount of hit points and you can't respawn. The reason why games like League of Legends are different is because there are respawns and you have health. Like,
They also have seasons.
yeah, they also have seasons. But my thing is, like, if you were to look at like frontline, I wonder what the, like, your only frontline stats would look like, honestly. Because there are respawns, but how does that change? How does that change things? South Coast map? South Coast was such a pretty map, too. It was a good map. Like, Ayah! Come on. Ouch. For reals? For realsies. I can't. 60 TP needs to die. Oh. Oh, why is he allowed to? No.
Is there anybody over here with me? No,
I don't
there's
know.
no one over here with me. Okay. Hold down the fort by my onesie. Definitely not gonna push now.
You say what? Are you trying to die? What's happening?
I'm not. I am not trying to die. I'm just in a pickle now. Thanks, team.
Go. Oh yeah. No. What is my opinion on us adding the anime tanks? If you like it, you like it, and you can buy it, I guess.
More
I
skins.
don't really mind. Like, I think it's really cool that we have, you know, things that people like that aren't just World of Tanks and that people want to buy things. Maps and matchmaker.
People like dog tags. Like, that's the reason why they're there. People were enjoying dog tags, so that's why we
literally asked for that. They literally asked for that. Like, that's genuinely, people are like, oh man, I really like the dog tags from this event. Like, can't we have those in the standard game? But also, we have, what is it? Recon mode, where you can test out maps that are in development.
Well, that's even better now that you can do that.
And like, what don't you like about Matchmaker? Because if you don't like Matchmaker, like, be real specific. Because, like, make it balanced. What does that mean? Like, what needs to change to make it balanced? Like are you asking
player skill? Because if you're looking at player skill, we have ranked mode.
If you're looking at player skill, just know that Clan Wars doesn't matter if the clans are evenly matched, they can still end in 15-0. It's based solely on strategy. The only thing I don't like about Matchmaker is how often I'm placed in bottom tier. What tier are you playing? Because that's a pretty good question.
Because 5 and 7, I think 5 and 6 are pretty bad ones.
I guarantee matching skill between two teams in World of Tanks doesn't make a difference. Like, literally, if you look at ranked battles, even on relatively even teams in terms of skill level, it doesn't make a difference. You're still going to have around a 50% win rate. You're still going to see 15-0. That's, I promise you. Most games with a rating, except, what? Focusing on complaints for an entire stream sometimes is boring. I know, but this is the route we decided to go today, because we haven't had a stream in a while where people have complained the whole time. So
we need it. We need it to survive.
Wargaming patents don't just because something's patented doesn't mean it actually is in existence.
Yeah. Also, patents change.
Yeah.
And you don't have to update the patent specifically. You can just change things.
With people of high rating, okay. What does that intend to fix, Ash Monkey? Does that intend to fix 15-0 battles? Does that intend to fix the perception that it'll lower 15-0 matches? Or like what's the intent here? What is the intent of matching player skill supposed to do?
Halo has different. It's a completely different game.
Yeah.
Halo is completely different, where you can pick up weapons and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and you know the map.
You also
So
have
that actually,
respawns.
and you have respawns. True. I like the novelty tanks as well, because the Offspring, they do cool things with it. Like they give you
Boneheads that rush in
songs.
and die. So you're
I'm a bonehead. I do that.
okay. Wait,
I don't do it on
as
purpose.
Monkey, are you saying you want to balance people on both sides because you don't want people of low skill on your team who will just rush in and die?
Also, what are you gonna do with platoons then? Now
Yeah.
are you gonna sit there and be like, oh, only platoons of certain win rates can go up against each other on certain teams? Because now you're looking at longer queue
Tunes
times.
are exceptions. Okay. Well,
What?
then
What's
everyone would
they an
just
exception to?
everyone would just platoon. Like if people are platooning, you could get a team of all really bad players.
Yeah, someone's gonna have to fight that three tune of mouse. The mouse, right?
Humans are unpredictable. Humans are unpredictable. Yeah, I know. People don't even like ranked battles. Why do they think a skill-based matchmaker in randoms would do any good? And
Also, it's a random battle.
like I said, skill-based matchmaker would only change perception, and then people would be like, "Oh, we clearly need to like change the skill system because even with skill-based matchmaking, we still get 15-0."
It would never end.
Yeah.
It'd be the same situation as we're in right now.
Yeah, I promise you, skill-based matchmaker would barely make any measurable difference. Sometimes it's good to take wine out of the cellar. Yeah, yeah. No, it wouldn't. No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't care if I win or lose. Just play to chill or play to chill. Yeah, yeah, but
Play to have fun.
Like I understand, and like the thing is everybody's allowed to be frustrated and we're allowed to like talk about the things that are frustrating, but my thing is if you're asking for changes, understand what the consequences of that change could be and understand why particular things happen. If you have bracketed matchmaker, yeah, and then people would just fail their way into lower matchmakers so they can have higher win rates. Because the thing
so
is, when you have bracketed skill-based matchmaker, that means people in higher brackets will have a 50% win rate average, and then but they would like that's the thing about skill-based matchmaker is you're going to re-average players of high skill. You're going to re-average them into that higher skill. Like this is a problem that League of Legends has, is when you go to higher leagues, your win rate averages towards 50. Because going up against people who are the same skill level as you are going to push your win rate and honestly your other stats down. The second you introduce skill-based matchmaker, your skills, your measurement of your skills in your service record will go down. That's just how averages work and how skill-based matchmakers work.
Not out of focus. You're out of focus. I don't
You are
know.
out
I
of
can't see
focus.
myself.
Just like put your hand in front of the camera and like pull it away.
Stupid Logitech.
I agree. Most questions are what? What are you talking about, smartphone?
There we go. I'm back.
But no, I don't know. I don't know. So Pogroflock stopped responding.
Stop licking the lens. I guess I have a problem with that.
All right, I'm ready.
Looks so delicious.
I
10.
find +2 -2 to be more infuriating than bottom tier. Yeah, I understand that. I understand that.
+2, at least in +2 -2, you have a chance of farming all that health.
Yeah. Yeah. I just play for fun and enjoy figuring out why things work the way that they do. I agree. I actually, guys, I answered this in my AMA video. The reason why I love World of Tanks is things are always constantly changing. And, like, I don't understand everything in World of Tanks.
It has not been like that, hey, Mr. Monkey.
About
it has
fixing
not been.
as
Matchmaker has
Monkey.
been
As Monkey.
under changes so many times. So many times.
What you're asking with skill-based matchmaker, I promise you, would not make a difference. Like, I promise you it won't make a difference.
60-year kid, when you're -2, you're in the majority of people that are -2 as well. So it's not like before where it was your bottom tier and you're
what
the
are
only
these other
one
games
that's a
as
tier.
Monkey? Because they
Mhm.
probably have respawns and probably have different mechanics, because World of Tanks is a limited health pool, limited spawn. It is completely different in that way, in that if you kill someone, yes, it does. It does have everything to do with it. Do you want to know why? Because if your high skill player dies very quickly, who are you relying on? You're just asking to have people rely on high skill players. And for 2, you're asking them to be like, okay, equivalent on both sides, just aim for the high skill player. Once the high skill player is out, you're more likely to win. After that, it's literally just about the number of guns that you have.
Because it's going to be like that. It's not going to be. That's how skill-based matchmaker works, even in ranked settings in League of Legends and stuff. To go from platinum to diamond, or to go
That's
from
the
gold to
point,
silver,
as Monkey.
they throw you in there. They throw you in there, even if you're not ready.
That's the point.
And
You
see how you
landed
do.
on the point. Is because skill would not make a difference because they die and you can't respawn, they can't make a difference in the match they are in.
Yay, breaks.
Like, if you're in a game that has multiple spawns, you have more chances to make a difference in the game. But if you are a high skill player in a limited respawn, you don't. You have one chance at making a difference. Your skill can only make a difference until you die. Are not going to take... Yeah, but that's the same... That's... So, what? That... Okay. I mean, I can't really make you understand that that's genuinely the point. Is it won't make a difference having a high skill player on both teams. You're using low skill player against a high skill player as if it would make a difference. It just takes one death for the game to be changed. That's the point. Having a high skill player on both teams won't make a difference because it only makes a difference until they die. Senseless? I don't think they're senseless, Frank. Like, I know that they're genuinely talking about their opinion, but I'm saying that it only makes a difference until they die. There's no respawns in World of Tanks. You only have so much influence on a match. Like, skill-based matchmaker would only make a difference until that skilled person dies. That's it. That's it. And then they're done. That's why it doesn't make a difference to have skill-based matchmaker. Right? Right? Like, is that point not coming across? High skill players, not every single time, but they can. But that's the point, is having a high skill player on both teams won't make a difference because they have the opportunity to die. And also, Why would people want to have more focus on them as a high skill player? Team art makers on British tanks? What if they're already in there gaming? They're already in there. I don't know. Like I said, I think skill-based matchmaker wouldn't make a difference literally specifically because you don't have respawns, and that limited option there makes it so you only have so much influence on a match. Playtest server, yeah. They also know how to stay alive and not run across the map and die. So do you mean, like, just get rid of low-skill players? People are going to play how they play. You can't change the way someone wants to play a game. A high-skill player could die very easily because they're trying to take a position. That's the point, is like, World of Tanks is incredibly random. Yes, skill will make a difference, but skill makes a difference in a very few opportunities. Mostly at the beginning of the game, where early shots can lower the enemy's health pool. The other is close to the end of the game, where they can have more influence when there are less tanks. I don't know. Put the lost skills in together? What do you mean? You mean low skills? Putting in people that... Yeah, but people don't even like ranked battles. Because it doesn't, like nothing... Have you seen the amount of people who are always posting saying, hey, I thought I was supposed to be in the high league, like, people are still rushing in and dying, blah blah blah. Like... I don't know.
Watch out, left.
Yeah, I see.
Alright, well.
Oof.
Good job.
I don't know. When a good player realizes they're in a bad situation, they look for good ways to get out of it. I agree, but just because this still is saying, like, to put a lot of weight on a high skill player. Hello, Will Holden, how are you doing? What hardcore everyone playing? Yeah, like, that's the other thing is, like, why would you constantly want to have your skills being judged by the matchmaker? That's the other thing is, like, why? Why would you want to focus on your skills even harder? Yes, I mean ranked battles that are only available for a limited time. Because, well... Nobody really likes the ranked battles anyways, because they think that the skill-based matchmaking is broken. Or something. So what's the point? That's my point, is what's the point of introducing a skill-based matchmaker when we already have ranked battles? People already don't like it. Skill-based matchmaker doesn't really make enough of a difference at all to be worthwhile of implementing into random battles.
Can I ask you a serious question?
Yeah.
What's a breakthrough tank?
A tank that can go in and make a difference on a flank. Okay, so
Oh,
what
never mind.
should ranked
It goes over it.
skill-based
Never mind.
matchmaker
It's what
be?
it is.
Like, what should it be as Monkey? That's my question to you. Jasper is a breakthrough tank? He is.
So
Oh,
it actually it goes over it if you hover over it. It says vehicles with good mobility and reliable armor that make them effective at both on the first line of attack and positional close range combat and during flanking maneuvers.
Should go off your WTR or your personal rating. So something that you can influence by just playing poorly.
Yeah. So you could just sandbag yourself and then...
Yeah. That's... So people would start playing poorly so they can play in lower skill ranges. That's what League of Legends does. And then when you play good, you go back up. Yeah, that's what League of Legends does, and people still hate it. People still hate it.
Also, why they do what do you call it? What did you call it?
Also, like
They
random
create
battles.
they create secondaries that are just for that,
Yeah,
just so they
Smurf
can go back
accounts.
and yeah,
Smurf accounts, yep.
just so they can go back and lay waste to somebody else.
Yep. Like, that's the other thing, is people would literally just do that. So, like, why?
Tier 7, whenever you're ready.
Similar combined skill? Um, once again, I don't think, personally, I don't think random battles should have skill-based matchmaker. You can rank out of that range. But
You can,
why?
and then
You're
but you can also
you're
just not do it in ranked mode, right? So you can just sit there and not go League of Legends ranked mode. You can just do it normal and sandbag that way.
Why not in random? Because random battles is how skill level is measured. Random battles is literally how you're matched up.
How you see a battle unfold and how you adapt to
No,
it.
no, no, no. It's literally how your service record is like completed, like how it shows you compared to other people.
Who also play random.
Cuz okay, so think of it this way. If you have skill-based matchmaking, if you have an entire match with only like people who are unicums, only people who are unicums, if you have that consistently over time, if these unicums are consistently matched against each other, there is a limited amount of damage that you can do in a single battle because there are no respawns, which means your stats will drop because everybody is playing at that same level. So if you're a hyper-skilled player and you're playing against other hyper-skilled players, instead of having a 60% win rate, you will have a 50% win rate. Yes, I'm going back to respawns because it makes a difference.
It's true. You're more than one
If you
shot in a battle to turn
If you
the
don't
tide.
understand why respawns make such a huge difference, then you're not understanding why I'm making the point. I'm making the point because it makes a difference in how your skills will be measured. If you're only matched against high skill people, your stats will drop. So let's have you make their stats look better? No, that's how you're asking us to go by WTR, right? You're asking us to go by the statistic that is only a statistic specifically because we have random battles and can measure you compared to average players. What? What? You can't have WTR if you don't have random battles. You're asking us to measure something and then get rid of the measurement by not having random battles. What do you mean you can? What would you measure it on? What would you measure WTR on? Your average damage? Well, your average damage is going to go down because you're only matched with people who are high skill players and they're all going to be doing 2k damage. They're all doing 2k damage. Well, there's only a limited amount of hit points, which means you can only maximum 2k damage. Everybody's...
What if you're a light tank?
I don't know.
Where your stuff comes from, all your experience comes from spotting, right?
Like, how would you have us measure somebody's rating if we don't have random battles? Yeah, 2k HP to spread around. But that also means all of the people who normally do, let's say, 5k in a normal battle aren't doing 5k anymore because there's not enough HP to make it go past a certain point because everyone's going to be doing the same amount of damage. You can't have a person who normally does 5k and multiple people who do 5k in one battle, because it's gonna go down. It's gonna go down. What? Like 20k HP in a random battle and 20k in rank, that's still 20k of HP to spread around. But if you're a person who does 5k HP, in both of those modes, you're going to do 5k in random, but you're not going to do 5k in ranked because there are other people who do 5k. Because there's a limited amount of hit points. There's a limited amount of hit points and there's limited respawns. People were doing 5k, but a lot less, which means their average goes down. Their average against people who are also doing 5k are going down over time. You can still do 5k in ranked, but you're gonna do it a lot less, which means your average is gonna go down. If you have 10 matches in a row in random battles where you're doing 5k, you're not going to do the same in ranked because there are other people who can also do 5k. There's a limited amount of hit points that can go around, which means the other hit points have to go to other people. So if you want to keep your rating up, you play more aggressive. So you want to force good players to always play at their max. I've had people who do 5k damage per game tell me they hate and would hate skill-based matchmaker because they don't want to play at the top level all the time. Like, the process is a limited hit pool, a limited amount of pool of hit points can only go to people a certain amount. Because they want to have day one. What? What? Okay. I mean... I'm trying to explain to you that limited respawns and limited amount of hit points will lower an average damage that you can do. Because you're fighting other people for damage that can be done. So you want to force people to play ranked battles consistently, because if you had high skill, you're only going to be in the highest level at all times. So you're going to always have to compete. Like, I'm not crazy. I make sense. Like,
I'm
it's
crazy.
logical. Like, it's very logical. I get why you want skill-based matchmaker. I do. But honestly, it's not going to work. I promise you it won't. Alright, thanks, DS Leverich. I'm sorry I didn't play very great, but I just... Like, I get it. But also, man... Why even play PvP if you're not competing?
That's what ranked is. I don't understand.
That's what ranked is for!
We're in a circle here. I'm just...
Yeah, we are in a circle. Because we go from add skill-based matchmaker because matching up with people worse than you is horrible. But ranked battles sucked because the what? But ranked isn't all the time. Okay, yeah, and so play ranked when there's ranked and don't play ranked when there's not ranked. Don't force it on everybody. You want everybody to play the way that you want to play all the time. We're not going to force everybody to play ranked all the time because that sounds like it sucks. All right. Yeah, that's fine. We'll move on to a different topic. My goodness. All
I
right.
need to pick a thing. Sorry.
Yeah. This will be the last battle. So what now? We'll talk about food. What are y'all eating?
Oh,
What are
God,
y'all
why?
eating for
I
dinner?
haven't eaten anything all day.
Yeah, so what are you gonna eat for dinner?
I don't know. That McDonald's that you said sounded good. There's also a Taco Bell that's crawling my name. Oh, they just built a Whataburger right down the street from me. So that might be a thing.
This is one of the ways to drive my wife nuts, ignore statistical analysis and refuse to see the point that she's making.
But my feelings.
It's okay. It's okay. Cream corn was mentioned early in the stream. Cream corn.
Cold.
It's not cold. Room temperature is different from cold. Room temperature is absolutely...
Room temperature is what you feel comfortable at. So it's not the sweltering hot outside. It's just cold.
Okay, but
Because you
for
don't,
hold
you
on,
don't room
hold on,
temperature
hold on.
at 80
But
degrees,
for food,
do you?
no, but for food, room temperature is not heated, right?
Thank you, Kilpie. Thank you. Room temperature food
Room
is cold.
temperature, no, cold is ice cream. Cold is you put it in the fridge and you made it cold. Room temperature is it has been seating and it has not been warmed up and it has not been cooled down.
Colder than your room temperature.
It's not cold.
It's like 10 degrees colder. It goes from 70 to 60 in your fridge.
Yeah.
And then if you want even more, then it's 30 in your freezer.
It's not cold. What if your room is 35 degrees?
But at that point, you're going, okay, well, the freezer is frozen.
Are you in Antarctica? I would be right at home with MREs, but they're actually really expensive if you want to buy them. They're only cheap for the military. Yeah.
Yeah, they're cheap for the military.
Room temperature. Oh, God. But no, I don't know. Like, cold for me is anything that has been refrigerated for any reason. Like, you eat Jell-O cold, right? But things that are room temperature are like chips. You don't heat up chips and you don't put them in the freezer, right? Or you don't put them in the fridge, right?
Definitely not hot, though.
I will die on this hill. My cream corn was not cold. It was room temperature. Room temperature.
What is your room temperature at?
Like 74?
God, you are a lizard. That makes sense, because you're a lizard.
That temperature is called refrigerated. Exactly! But that's what I'm saying! That's what I'm saying! Is room temperature is different from cold. But that doesn't mean things can be colder, and that doesn't mean things can't be warmer. Yeah, room temperature pizza, exactly! Cold pizza came out of the fridge. Room temperature pizza has gotten to the point where it's not heated anymore. Oh, snap.
We'll die on this hill.
Yeah, I will die on this hill. My cream corn was room temperature, not cold.
Cold.
I don't normally like stuff unheated. No. Hot food, cold food, and room temperature food. Exactly, Strike. Exactly. Exactly. It was unheated, not cold. Yes, it was not warmed up.
That was fun.
Oh, he's one of those double repair kit dudes. I missed that. Heck.
My beer is warm and my pizza is cold. Both room temperature. See?
Yeah, but what temperature are they supposed to be eaten at? I guess.
Your opinion.
But they're
Whatever you want
also
it to be.
still room temperature!
What's that T95 being so mean?
Ouch. Because I had no help.
Same here. I just got sniped from the
There's
hill.
tepid, there's lukewarm. Oh no. Blowout defeats have got to stop. Have you actually done the statistics on your matches? Yeah, 15-5 isn't even a blowout, honestly. That's just average. That's because the second you lose a tank, you're already more likely to lose another tank than you are to kill one of theirs. Because they have more guns. Actually, Chieftain did a video on this about focus fire. Hold on. Chieftain focus fire. Concentration of fire. Here we go. Lanchester. This is also, and that's the other thing. This is why, sorry, I'm bringing it back to the topic, but concentration of fire is also a reason why no respawns makes a difference. Because, like, imagine if League of Legends had no respawns. You sell a tank, does it affect your stats? No.
No. Because your stats are still in that tank. And then if you buy the tank again, then your stats just pick up again from there.
Yeah. Alright. That was the last battle. But no. I'm not gonna poke the bear more, I promise. Alright, Crazy Boop, you talk some.
I talked
the end of the stream. Yeah, it's the end of the stream. Say goodbye to everybody.
Crackers that I was supposed to have for lunch.
No. Supposed to.
There they are. On my desk. I just gotta pick up social media posts. This will be easy.
Alright. I think you just have to buy them again, Istanbul, but you could probably message support and ask.
Oh, let's do this plug. So Veterans Day is coming up, and there is a tournament that you should check out. We're doing that. It's sponsored by Verizon, and everybody in the tournament has to have a veteran on their team. So you get in-game goods, and hang on a second while I alt-tab to find the actual post. Here it is. Boom. There it is.
I actually think it's the opposite, CJ, but, you know, to each their own.
There is a lot more cheating in the game? Where?
Yeah. In any case, we
are
going to be
get hit for any illegal mod use, so
rating,
it's
and
not like they're not.
I guess tragic
handled.
breaks rules again today.
Thank you, smartphone. It was fun to make. I actually finished it.
We're gonna be rating Quinetic because I've received like 5 different messages about him doing a charity stream, so we're gonna go support him.
Finished it. Look how big and pretty it is.
Alright, do you want to say bye to chat?
Goodbye, chat!
Goodbye,
I'm gonna go have Whataburger.
ATP, it's probably because you have Assault and Encounter turned on. For those modes, you'll still see those maps because
nothing is
they don't have
brushed under the rug.
They don't have a big map pool. Anyway, bye everybody. We'll see you on...
Bye!
We'll actually see you on Friday because Thursday is Veterans Day and Wargaming has that day off. So, bye everybody. Thursday is Veterans Day.
Goodness gracious.
Okay. Please give Quinetic a warm Sherman Gang welcome. He is not one of our CCs, so, you know, please give him support because he is doing a charity stream. But yeah, oh, jeez, my chat is working funny. But yeah, okay. Goodbye, everybody. We'll see you on Friday. Bye, everybody.